What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Reacting to HELIX Stadium price, don't pre-order until you watch this. Value for money versus competition by Leon Brown Music. So what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be reacting to HELIX Stadium price, don't pre-order until you watch this. Value for money versus competition by Leon Brown Music. As always, if you've not already subscribed to Leon Brown Music, go and give him a sub right now. And I've also included the link for the original video in the description down below. Please go there, click on the original video and give it a like. And on this video, my video, leave a comment on what you'd like to see me react to next, and let's get to it.
Price of the HELIX Stadium, because I think what they've done and the way they've priced it is really clever. As consumers, it gives us a really good, clear choice as to where it is in the market and what its competition is. So let's have a look. We know the price point comes in at $21.99 for the XL, which is the big unit with the rocker pedal and the scribble strips and a couple of extra ins and outs on the back. That's the big unit. The smaller unit, the standard version, comes in at $17.99, and it's got a smaller footprint that way and that way. It's got the same DSP, it does all the same things inside, it's got just as much power. You lose the rocker pedal and a couple of ins and outs, and you lose the scribble strips, but everything else.
But the main thing is, which ins and outs does the XL have, and which ins and outs are you losing with going with the smaller model? That's what it all depends, for my liking, because myself, especially if I'm going to use this unit for bass, and I know with lots of other videos and other stuff that I talk about this a lot, I love being able to do parallel processing and having two inputs to be able to go into two separate channels and two separate amps, one clean, one with a little bit of gain and all that. So I'm curious as to which ins and outs that you have on the one unit, the main unit, the Stadium, the XL, and which one you have on the smaller one, because that's what would really help me make up my mind on what I needed.
Is the same. It's got the same DSP, it's got the same memory, it's got the same screen, it runs the same models, it does everything the same. Let's quickly talk about the basics of what you get in both HELIX units for those two price points. You get the old HELIX unit with all of those sounds and all of those effects. You get the 16 new super duper amp models that nobody's heard yet, but they're meant to be really special. And we've got capturing on the way. Not here yet, but on the way. And it's potentially NAM captures or something similar. And we've got this new showcase mode, and they're treating it as a platform rather than just a guitar modeler.
Okay, so they're talking about how, capturing is on the way. And I have heard this before, that a lot of people are thinking it is going to be NAM profiles, but I have a feeling myself that Line 6 is going to have their own third-party way of doing it, because they're kind of, one of the giants of this whole thing, and amp modeling and, multi-effects units with amp modelers in them. I think they're going to be a little more greedy. They're going to try to make it a little more exclusive, lifestyle brand almost, if you would. I'm not sure they're going to allow NAM profiles on it like a lot of the smaller brands are, but we'll see.
Competition is guitar modelers. HELIX is now a platform, which I think is a clever move, and it's a good move for the future. So you get all of that for $17.99. The nearest competition is, first of all, the Quad Cortex. Do you see what I mean about it being similar? Similar size, and it's got a big screen, lots of ins and outs, but the Quad Cortex gives you amp models, which are okay. It gives you effects which are good, although nothing really earth-shattering. And it gives you captures which are
You can
good,
already do the
and it's
captures
real
as of
thing,
now.
but
Yes.
they're not quite as good anymore as Tonex or NAM. That's $17.99.
It's unbelievable. Isn't it unbelievable that the actual best amp cloning software and amp modeling is NAM? The free software that's open source that's out there. I am in love with NAM and NAM profiles. I got my Valaton GP200 right over here, over by my feet, and I've loaded a couple NAM profiles in there for some high gain stuff. Mwah! Oh, fantastic tones. They really react like live tube amps. So that would be great if Line 6 decided to do that with the new Helix, but I'm not sure they're going to allow that. I think they're really going to go the other way of keeping it their own proprietary sort of way of doing it. And it wouldn't even surprise me at all that if they had an equivalent to the cloud sharing, much like NAM does, that they would even charge a monthly fee for that service. I may be wrong. Let me know in the comments down below, because at this point, we're still just predicting what's going to happen with it. We don't know exactly. Like they said, amp profiling is on the way, but, is it going to be their own third party proprietary type thing, or are they going to allow NAM profiles? I just can't see them allowing NAM profiles. They're probably looking at all the devices that are allowing NAM profiles, which are the companies that aren't really as big, quite honestly. Leave a comment down below if the Quad Cortex is allowing you to import NAM profiles. I don't know if the Quad Cortex is allowing for that yet or not, but it's Valaton, it's Ampero, it's Sonic Cake, smaller companies like that that are allowing it, which is almost like completely leveling the playing field, at least for the amp modeling technology. I can't say enough about NAM profiles. Loving them.
It also has plugin, not quite plugins, but versions of their plugins that you can load into it, which are their better versions of the amp models. So there's a Reba version, there's a Plini, there's Soldano, there's a few other bits and pieces as well. And you can buy them, but they're not cheap. And here's an interesting little aside. Over the last few days since the launch of the Helix, it may be coincidence, it may not be, but on my social media feed, I've seen adverts for Quad Cortex. And I've never seen
Dun,
adverts
dun,
for Quad Cortex
dun.
before, ever.
That's because your cell phone is always listening to you. So is all the peeping eyes on the interwebs. No matter what you're even talking about or researching anywhere, that stuff's going to end up in your news feed. The algorithm knows, it knows. Although sometimes it still gives me stuff in French. And every now and again, feminine hygiene products. Mm.
Is it a coincidence? Or are they nervous? Are you getting adverts on your feeds as well? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. So when you get the Helix, you get the better amp models as well as the old ones. And you are going to get captures which are potentially better or as good as at least than the Quad Cortex. Both at $17.99. Then you get all of the other stuff in Helix like the showcase mode and the potential for more things to happen. Now, talking about potential for more things to happen, do you remember when Quad Cortex came along and we were told it would get this, and this, and it got, well, what happened? It was tumbleweed for years, wasn't it? And then we got a few models. Line
False
6 have promised a
advertising,
lot.
baby.
You know what? I think I trust them a little bit more because they've given us a timeline. And they've talked about what's going to happen next. And then they've talked about things beyond that that they're not telling us. So yes, they're dangling carrots, which again is clever, but there's a timeline. And that just gives me a little bit more trust. And it's line 6. They've got a history of updating stuff and bringing more things to existing products.
That's true.
Yep, I trust them a little bit more.
He's not wrong. There's been quite a few firmware updates with the Helix family of products, a lot. And with each one of those, updates of firmware, you'd end up getting more amps, more effects, and all that. Kind of cool when you really think about it. You buy one piece of hardware, one device, and you get, several firmware updates, which allow you to do all these things. But all bets are off now that there's actually devices that allow you to use NAM profiles. NAM profiles. I know this is supposed to be about the Helix, but I just had my first live stream yesterday that I did while using, my NAM profiles on my Valiton GP200. I freaking love it. Sounds fantastic. Anyways, back to the video about the Helix.
To bring the updates than Neural, who have not the best track record. So that's one of the competitors. The other competitor, really interestingly, is Fractal. And Fractal have the FM9, funnily enough, for $17.99 on Sweetwater today when I'm making this video. And the FM9 has superb amp models and superb effects. It's really good. It's a beast to program, and it has no captures. So you get really good amps, really good effects, but no captures. And here's Helix, which is offering really good quality amps with the new Agora stuff. It's offering captures coming soon, and it could well be that their NAM captures are superb. It's got legacy effects, which are good, and it's got some of the newer, more sophisticated versions, like the Ganymede reverbs, the polycapos, all of those kind of things that are very, very DSP intensive, that eat up half of your Helix when you use them. But now with the bigger version, the newer version, there's going to be more scope for effects that are as big and as DSP intensive as that. But out of the 3 units, which one do you think offers the best value for money? Which of those 3 do you think offers the best future proofing? I don't think it's a difficult question to answer. You know what? I think with that smaller Helix unit, the Quad Cortex and the Fractal have got some work to do. But here's a decision you might have to make. If you are going to get the Helix, do you get in now and pre-order and get in right at the beginning? Or do you hang fire and wait till the captures come along so you get a little bit more when you actually spend your money? Decisions, decisions, decisions. This, by the way, is not a sponsored video. I get no money, no payment, no getting nothing for it. So if you can give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already, then that'd be much appreciated. And comment below if you've got something useful to add. And have a look at one of my other Helix videos on your screen right now. Cheers.
All right. That was reacting to Helix Stadium Price. Don't pre-order until you watch this. Value for money by Leon Brown Music. As always, if you haven't already, go and give Leon Brown Music a sub. I put the link for the original video in the description down below. Go ahead and click on that and give the original video a like. And on this video, my video, leave a comment on what you'd like to see me reacting to next. Thanks for checking out this video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, click the notification bell, like, comment, and share. It doesn't cost a thing and would really help out the channel. Also, please subscribe to my other channel, GK Mac Music, for some live looping live streams with a side of jackassery, some original music, and some short content, also with a side of jackassery. If you'd like to help out the channel financially, you can buy some merch at the merch store, or you can become a channel member. As always, everyone, thanks so much for your continued support. Do what makes you happy.